What's good, people? I wanted to come on tonight and talk just a little bit about a free agent topic that has been on my mind for the last few weeks. You know, a few weeks back, actually like a month or so back, I did one of my podcast episodes. I think it might have been episode 4, where I talked about who stays, who goes. I'm going to link that in the upper right hand corner on one of those little iCard thingies. Go check that out if you haven't yet. But in that video, I went into deep talk about what the Redskins should do up one side and down the other of the roster as far as who they should let go and who they should keep. And something told me that I would have to revisit this topic with Jamison Crowder as far as should we keep him or should we not, because it's a pretty big topic. I believe Crowder is possibly, this side of Jordan Reed, probably the only positive weapon that we know we have. Now, mind you, as I just said, positive weapon that we know we have. We're not certain what we have with Josh Doctson yet. I'm actually going to go further into that topic in the coming days, maybe in the next few days, because Doctson actually poses a couple of question marks in his own self, even though he's not a free agent this year. But back to the conversation we were having about Jamison Crowder. Most people know that Crowder's been in the league long enough now where he's hit the end of his contract. And his market value is somewhere around 4 years, $32 million, 8 point something million a year. At least that's what a lot of people would put his market value at. Now, if you look at some of the people that he stacks up against and measures close to, as far as this particular website here has taken in all the stat categories and combined them and compared them, a lot of the categories he's better than what the average of the 4 players he's compared to is, except for the dropped category. The other categories, yards after catch, receiving touchdowns a game, he's above most everything. I would like to have more game percentage played. I hate the fact that he missed a lot last year. But the point I'm trying to make here is that Jamison Crowder has played well enough to get a new contract with the Redskins. The question mark is, how big of a contract should he get? Now, this is where a lot of people are going to argue back and forth about what they think he's worth and what they think he's not worth. In my opinion, I think he wants to be a Washington Redskin. On the Redskins' last day this past season, when they cleaned out their lockers and everything, he was quoted as saying he had a high interest level in coming back, but realized it was a business. He needed to think about the business aspects of things, and he didn't really know where things stood. It was pretty obvious, though, when they kind of asked around in the locker room, most people want him on the team. But to grab a little blurb from that Washington Post article that he was quoted in, Crowder has caught 192 passes with an 11.7 yards per catch average during his first 3 seasons in the league, including 67 and 66 catches for a combined 10 touchdowns in each of his previous 2 seasons, but his total dipped to just 29 receptions for 388 yards and 2 touchdowns during an injury-plagued 2018. The problem that I view is, of course, the Redskins' back being pushed against the proverbial salary cap wall. Now, and another news item that's kind of popped out today or the last couple of days is that the Redskins are in open talks with Brandon Sheriff to try to get a new contract on him, which is really good because at this point right now, Sheriff is looking at like $13 million this season that he's going to count against the cap on. It'd be really nice to somehow or another peel that back to like somewhere between 6 and 7 or 8 of a cap hit next year, and that would help things a lot. And that actually might be the money to keep someone like Jamison Crowder. Now, the reason why I bring that up is because if the Redskins make that move, then they'll be able to sign Crowder back again, and then the Redskins can start looking at other positions of need rather than to sit back and think, okay, we have 0 wide receivers and all of the pressure is going to be on Josh Doctson to perform. Now, the thing I like about Crowder is generally it really doesn't matter who the quarterback is. This guy's going to be able to catch passes and do things. I like his ability after he catches the ball. Personally, I've liked this guy, like watching what he brings to the field since he played in the ACC. You know, I'm a big Virginia Tech fan, so I saw this guy a lot. He was a 4-year player at Duke, broke a lot of records down there, and I've enjoyed watching him as a Redskin. Things he hasn't done, he has not broke 1,000 yards yet. Now, I don't know how many people look at that and how many people view that or judge that in what kind of way. In my opinion, it is definitely a weight-carrying stat. 1,000 yards for a receiver is kind of like the setting point. So if I'm going to pay a guy $8 to $9 to $10 million a year, I want to know that he can put up numbers for me as far as when I need it. And Crowder has put those kind of numbers up, but he's just, I don't know. The question mark is there is if he can. He's never going to be more than a slot receiver. The question mark is always going to be with a team that is having financial issues. Is a slot receiver worth $8 million a year? That's the question you're going to have to ask yourself. Or is it going to be easier just to go to the draft and pick up a guy that you can definitely bring in on a rookie contract and replace him? So that's what I want to do. This is going to be more of a series of videos, and I kind of want to ask everybody's opinion on this one. What is your opinion on it? Should the Redskins offer Crowder a long-term contract, or should they let him walk? Or maybe even a 1-year deal? What's your opinion? Now, I know a lot of people probably going to look at, the draft coming up as a major option, for the team to be able to add some weapons that way. It's very true. In my opinion, until they add a quarterback or they can give me a quarterback that I believe can last more than 4 to 6 games before he gets injured, then I'm not really sure if we should be devoting money into the receiver position. Maybe we should be thinking about spending more on the defensive side of the ball. If they're going to make a move or draft someone that's going to be able to spin the ball a little better than what we already have, or if maybe they're going to get Colt a bionic injury-proof suit next season where he can come out and make it 16 games, then I'm all for spending money on weapons. But at this point, I kind of would like to go defense and to board up some line and to draft a quarterback. I don't necessarily want to step up and pay the price of moving up for a quarterback, but we'll get to that in further discussions as well. So just give me your opinion down below. Let me know what you're thinking. Should we let him go? Should we re-sign him to a 1-year deal, to a long-term? What's your opinion? Let me know. That's all I got. Hail to the Redskins. Peace.